being sick is not fun. You feel weird, you feel tired and woozy, but we get so sick sometimes that we have to go to the hospital for treatment. And that is also not fun. Luckily, I'm one of these people that has only been to the hospital once. And I'm not talking about the day I was born. So one day back in February, I came back from the orthodontist from getting my braces tightened. So a few minutes after I came home, my mouth was starting to get at me a lot. And if you wore braces, then you know it's not a great pain to live with. Or at least today anyway. So I went to ask my mum for some painkillers. She told me where they were, and I found them and took 2 of them. We'll call these painkillers G. You'll understand why later. So it eased the pain for about a few hours, but when it was time for bed, my mouth was starting to get at me again. So I went to see if there was more G painkillers for me to take, but they were all gone. My mum looked and found some more painkillers that we'll call B. I took 2 of them like before and tried to get some sleep since I had school the next day. But around 11:30, I started to feel this really bad pain. Not in my teeth, but both sides of my waist. It felt like a burning, pulling feeling, and I'm not joking, it was the worst pain I have ever felt in my life. And I thought it was just gonna pass by in a few minutes, but it didn't. I ran into my mum telling her the aggravating pain I was in. It came to the conclusion that my mum had to call the ambulance because she knew that I was not feeling great at all. The ambulance thankfully took very little time to come to our house, and as I was boarding the ambulance through the back door, the ambulance assistant asked me, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but it's policy to ask, are you pregnant? Okay, in my head I was like, do I look pregnant to you? But at the time, all I really had the energy to say was, no. Shortly after, the ambulance started to move and my mum was following us behind. I must say though, the assistant that was in the ambulance with me was very nice. He did ask me a lot of questions about how I was, but it was all because he wanted to know how I was, so I'd like to thank him for that. We arrived at the hospital and I was thankfully put into a room with a bed. A doctor came in to examine me and gave me some more painkillers, which I was very skeptical about taking at first, but I took them anyways. A few minutes later, the doctor came back in and told me that I needed to have my bloods done. Getting your bloods done means getting access to your current state of health to see if you have an infection. But this freaked me out because I have a fear of blood. Don't judge me. But being honest, getting my bloods done didn't hurt too much. Sure, there was a bit of a tear in my eye, but it didn't hurt too much. Then after they were done, we had to wait for the results to come back, and that was gonna take hours. But you know who's really great to have with me during those scary moments? My mum. My mum has always been that caring parent who always put her children's needs before her own. Just want to say I want to thank her for that. Thanks, Mum. I love you. Hours later, the doctor came back and told me the results. Okay, we've gone over everything, and according to these results, it says that you have gastritis by eating your medication on an empty stomach. What the fuck? So the cause of all this drama was me eating the B painkillers on an empty stomach.